Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, howdy again. I trust you enjoyed my last video on Aussie band The Baby Animals. And through this song, One Word, we talked about the fact that we need to give our partners assurances, a word, a touch, a look, just something to let them know that we're still thinking of them. So trust you found that one encouraging. Well, we're going on to the Robinson brothers today, who thought, well, Rich could play guitar, Chris could sing pretty well, so let's give this thing a bit of a go. We can write a few songs. And so Atlanta, Georgia, 1984. And Sven Pipien was also a significant part of this band as well. The guys we're talking about are the Black Crows. Now, very much rock and roll. In fact, they were, according to the fans, at one particular time, the most rock and roll band in the world. In fact, VH1 put these guys number 92 of the greatest hard rock acts of all time in the top 100. So pretty significant in the scheme of things. Between 1990 and 2010, 8 studio albums, 5 live albums, 3 compilation albums, 5 EPs, 26 singles. It's estimated these guys have sold around 30 million albums. Now, Chris and Rich, obviously his brothers, very passionate brothers. There's been a few, I suppose they'll call them breaks, then reunions and getting back together. And very much, sometimes you need to separate to keep your sanity. This is very much the case with these guys. But when these guys got together, boy, there was nothing much stopping them, that is for sure. Now, when we're thinking hard rock, we're thinking hard pelting drums, pretty amazing guitar work, but there's some pretty tender guitar work going on here. Chris's vocals are absolutely amazing, and there's some pretty staggeringly good songs that these guys have released. In fact, the world of music shifted in 1990 when the album Shake Your Moneymaker was released. It's a very, very significant album for the Black Crows, and a massive contribution to the 30 million album sales these guys have actually had in their career. And the song you probably think of when you think of the Black Crows is Hard to Handle, or Too Hot to Handle. Is one of I'm too hot to handle is the lyrics in this song. And about very much the fact is, hey, no, you're going to have your hands full when you actually get your hands on me. Now, obviously, when we think about too hot to handle, the place we immediately go to are the intimate moments, or those moments of passion and fire and all the rest of it. And we think, we want those moments to be like that. We want it to be full of fire and full of passion and full of utter abandon, because you know what? You're in absolutely safe space with that other person. And let's face it, in this world, it can be a bit chaotic and a bit tricky at times. You want to be able to escape from this world and go to a different place. And those intimate moments certainly provide that time to do that. But it's often a space where we need to be able to be ourselves. We need to be able to express ourselves sexually with our partner. For there to be grace and a sense of comfort and ease around the whole thing. And knowing that at times it's going to be pretty hot and pretty passionate. Other times it's going to be more tender and gentle. But all of it together makes up our intimate moments with somebody else. And we get to know each other in those moments, what we like about each other, what really contributes, I suppose, to the bigger thing of the two of us. And that is it goes beyond the two of us into something else completely. But, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I'm too hot to handle right now, because you know what? That's what it needs to be in those intimate moments. But we wouldn't want to be going around to the world before this moment saying, hey, I'm going to be too hot to handle here. Do you know what happens with things that are too hot to handle? You get burned. We can be so, I suppose, full of ourselves and full of confidence, full of everything. We kind of forget about the other person a little bit. And we kind of forget about the fact that they're a human being too. And because we just have this sort of, I suppose, view of ourselves that doesn't really think about too many other people. Well, people are going to get burnt around us. And that's the last thing we'd want. So a suggestion, if you think you are too hot to handle and you're not in an intimate relationship right now, perhaps just put a little bit of a dampener on that and say, hey, because you know what? I know for myself, if I see a really, really attractive girl walking down the street, she's absolutely stunningly beautiful. The hair's just right. The clothes are, the clothes are there. And she's got a confident walk about her. I'm thinking, well, she's just a bit out of my league. I don't even know how I'm going to get into there, really. It's scary. What we need to do is we need to provide a way for people to get in so that they can get to know us. Otherwise, it can be a very lonely experience. We put so much effort on the outside and this confidence thing that we forget that we actually need to connect with other people. And surely that's the most important thing we need to be in this world, ability to connect, ability to be safe, ability for people to be able to get on with you and not be too hard and too hot to handle. So, but by all means, there is, as I said before, there is moments of being too hot to handle when you actually are in a relationship and you get to know each other. You get to know everything about that other person that makes them tick, the highs, the lows, the hots, the colds, the whole thing. And certainly in those intimate moments, you want to be too hot to handle because you know what? Why wouldn't you? Because that's what sex is all about. It's about fire and passion. And why wouldn't you want to do that in something that is actually free? It's a beautiful thing. So, yes, it's all right to be too hot to handle, but in the right moments, I'm thinking. So I trust that will all be an encouragement for you today. And of course, this song is an absolute classic. This song actually changed music because Chris's vocals are absolutely superb here. And when the music stops and, it's just his voice, it's absolutely staggeringly, spine-tingling good, this song. Such an incredibly well-written song, this one, and just perfect song for the Black Crowes to actually sing or to shout or to yell or to captivate the world with. This is the iconicness of this song. So onto the clip. So we do have a live version of Too Hard to Handle. There's so many live versions of this song on the web, but I thought this one was pretty good. Again, off the Shake Your Moneymaker album from 1990. We then got She Talks to Angels. Now this is something a little bit more stripped back for the Black Crowes. We've got the official clip and the live version of this one. The official clip just tells the story so well of a goth girl that the songwriter met here and just the impact he had on her and just a different way that she interacts with the world and sees the world in a different place. We don't need to read too much into this song really, just to think that, hey, we're all different people. And, Angels is a bit of a connection with our spiritual self, a way that, no one else can talk to us much like angels. And so this is almost a bit of a nod to this girl, that is for sure. Obviously a significant girl in the scheme of things. So we've got the official version of that one. We've then got a live version from the music icon Howard Stern, and he's sort of typical style, does a bit of an interview at the start. He talks about the fact that the boys are in the same room, and that's pretty amazing thing. But there's some pretty amazing guitar work going on from Rich here. You'll get to see that, he is absolutely a genius on the guitar, and this song absolutely needs that whole tenderness thing going on. So we've got She Talks to Angels. We then got Jealous Again from the 1990 album of the Shake Your Moneymaker. Again, I was jealous once, I'm jealous again. It's obviously about breaking up with relationships and the fact that I really never really getting over you, and I'm jealous all over again. So got that one, a live version of that one. Then we got Twice as Hard. It was hard enough for me to break up with you the first time. It's even harder the second time. This is off that same album from 1990. And I think this is the issue with relationships and love in particular. It's a very potent force of nature, something very hard to turn off. And the great thing I love about music is it captures all of these little idiosyncrasies and all these little nuances about love and articulates them so well, because certainly there are moments when it is twice as hard to break up with somebody. So why do you break up? Well, because you can't be with them at the same time. So the links to those 5 clips are in the description below. And I've also included my last video from the baby animals. So if you want to recap on that one, feel free. Well, I trust you enjoyed the video I did a little while ago on about thanking 30 subscribers. How cool to get to that number. So just again, each of you are very, very significant to me, and thank you for subscribing or coming back. Or if you're new to the channel, fantastic as well. So if this is your first time, or if you come back to Live Reflections Through Music, thank you very much for everyone for coming back or for coming for this first time. Well, that's it for today. Next time, we're going to go on to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees, the Beastie Boys. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.